Hi, everyone. Welcome. How are you all doing today? What are we drinking? I am drinking Stephen Smith, the Jasmine Silvertip Pearl tea with some honey and stevia. Bentley's laying here on my lap. I'm sure he'll make an appearance shortly. He's turning his head. Anyways, so what have you been up to? Anything interesting? So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. Animal therapy is one of my favorite therapies we've talked about not too long ago. Another favorite of mine is music therapy. We'll probably have a few episodes on this because it's definitely something you can dive deep into. So we're going to do that and talk about that today. So music therapy. So there are two types of music therapy. You have your receptive and you have your active. So we're going to talk about receptive. So receptive involves listening to pre-selected music or live performances. And of course, active is going to encourage participation in music making activities like singing or playing instruments or writing or songwriting. But we're going to focus on receptive today. So some of the benefits of receptive music is it reduces anxiety and stress. It helps with pain management. It improves your mood. It enhances coping. It has potential for immune system support. So some studies have suggested that music therapy may positively impact immune system function. I would say, so to kind of go back, this is something I've known about for ages, and like I said, a lot of these things that we talk about I've known for a while, but just haven't really had found the studies to support it or back it up. And the studies are starting to come out even more now. And of course, through the years in the past, it has slowly and surely started coming out. But I would say, interesting enough, back in, I believe it was 2006 or 2007, I want to say, my grandmother had to have, I think, a quadruple bypass. I think I told you the story about her having a stent and not, and getting up and wasn't supposed to move, but she had to get up and answer the phone. So she, so when she was waiting for this particular surgery, and we were there for her surgery, and we were sitting in the lobby, and they had a music therapist there, or what I call a music therapist. So a young lady came in. She was playing, I believe, the cello, and she just sat in the lobby, or in the waiting room, not in the lobby, in the waiting room, and was playing music. And she was taking requests. If you had any requests, she would play it, and she would just. And the whole concept was just to help people relax in that stressful situation, because you're sitting there, you're waiting, and your loved one with your surgery, you're waiting to hear news. Time, that's the time that 60 seconds feels like a freaking hour. So, because, and then of course the doctor tells you that, oh, it should be this long. And then you start, then when it goes past that time and you start stressing, because, then it's like every minute after that seems like an hour past that time, because you're afraid something's gone wrong. So with her being there and playing that music, it helped. It helped you not think about that. It helped relieve the stress. You paid more attention to the music. It settled you. It calmed you. You also didn't realize the time passing by, and it also helped the time pass by quicker. Hi. And we play music for our animals. We constantly have music going for them. Even when we had him and his brother, like if I would take them to work with me, I had him in this little carrier, and they were in together because his brother was a short-haired Chihuahua, and we'd have them in this little carrier together, and I would always play nature sounds or classical music or meditation music and in the back for them to help keep them calm and provide noise for them where they wouldn't bark at other noise or get stressed out at other noise around them as well. But anyways, so another thing with music therapy, like, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like classical music. Like, it can be anything. Whatever like helps calm you, whatever helps. Like my husband, so he'd talk about when he was in vet school, like he used to listen to like heavy metal music. Like that's what help calm him at the time. If you think about different doctors going into surgery, they'll have different types of music playing because that's what helps them focus or helps calms them or them to focus on what they need to do or whatever. So it's so figure out what helps calm you. Like reggae, I love some good reggae. I remember one time I was touring with a dance company. I was their master electrician, and we were touring, and we were in a city because even though we were on a tour bus, that was for the dancers to use to take them to their places. So we would have to be at the theater before the dancers to set everything up. And so normally someone who worked at that theater would come pick us up from our hotel and take us to the theater if we needed it. And when we didn't have a car, and or the crew. And this one guy, I remember getting in the van, and he had some reggae play, and it was one of those like this is nice just to get your day going, just to relax and put you in that nice mellow mood. Or think about it in this way: when you work out, or if you work out, what kind of music do you listen to? Like you listen to something that gets you pumped up or gets you going. And the same, music therapy does the same thing, or that is music therapy. Like it does the same thing. Like it just relaxes you. And the whole point is to take your mind away from it. And so I can name, I can name so many different people I would recommend, artists, music, types of music I would recommend. I love pretty much every type of music to some degree. And if it's something I really don't like, I kind of, find a beat in it that I can kind of get into with the beat. And then sometimes just listening to the words and what people have to say is interesting as well, and their story behind the music. But I will say one of my favorite artist, pianist, George Winston. He was an acquaintance / friend. I was the music manager at a Barnes & Noble, and he was coming into Charlotte, and I had got him to come in and do a signing. And he plays the guitar as well as the piano, and he played his guitar, his harmonica, because he does the harmonica as well. And he did a signing with his CDs and stuff. And then he has what they call like a friends list. So he put my husband and I on his friends list. So every time like he came into Charlotte, his person would reach out to us, and we got tickets to go see him in concert, and we were able to visit with him afterwards. And he's amazing. He's done so many CDs. unfortunately passed away. He lost his battle with cancer. He in 2023, but he had in line a bunch of music he was going to have come out in albums, and so they're still, his company is, or state is still putting these albums out as well, and they're beautiful. You can actually listen to some of his stuff on online. He did suffer from several forms of cancer, including thyroid, skin, and myeloplastia, MDS. Which was resolved back in 2013 following a bone marrow transplant, but he unfortunately passed away with complications 10 years later. They classify him as New Age. I don't know if I would classify him as New Age. I mean, he's more like classical piano. He's done the covers of the Doors. He's created or composed music because he's from Montana originally. Like, he's done covers as well as composed music, and I just wouldn't. I mean, more classical I would, yes, but I would definitely check him out. We actually had one of his albums. I think it was Summer. We had playing for our reception at our wedding because the music was just lovely. So he does have like winter, spring, autumn, summer. But yeah, and some studies show that classical music can also help with chemo brain. Chemo brain, if you haven't experienced that, it's just brain fog. You can't think of anything. You can't remember. It's literally chemo brain. I guess it's very similar to pregnancy brain if you have experienced that. Studies have shown classical music's able to help with that. If you like the piano, I've played the violin, which introduced, between that and Looney Tunes, has introduced me into classical music. So we have it playing around here all the time. But I love Yo-Yo Ma. Like, I love to listen to him on the cello. If you need a little bit more beat with your music versus, than what classical music offers, he has this one line. It's called the Appalachian Trail, and it's more bluegrassy. It's really nice. It does give a little bit of a beat and twang and bluegrass to it than your typical classical music. But I would recommend Yo-Yo Ma was actually awarded Kennedy Center Medal. I would Google his introduction into the Kennedy, or the honor speech given for the Kennedy Center Award. Remember, I think it was a comedian who gave it. It was really funny, really good. I mean, really good, really funny. So I definitely would recommend that if you think about it. But yeah, like Yo-Yo Ma with the cello, I love it. I love any cello music. The violin, Joshua Bell does an amazing job. There's jazz. Interesting. I'm more of a, I like the independent music or independent artists that haven't quite made it mainstream. A lot of those are really nice. But yeah, I could get into a whole list of people. Years ago, Sean and I were at the Southern Christmas Show in Charlotte and ran into this artist's wife. His name is Don Thompson. He plays the guitar. She had cancer, and she'll swear up and down that the music therapy helped her like go in remission. She said like her husband, he created, I think it was the Autumn CD, he actually created while she was recovering or battling cancer and going through that journey. And she said he would lay there at night while she was sleeping and play this music. And he would, she said it felt like the healing, he was sending the healing vibes through the music to her to heal her. And so yeah, he has 4 CDs. We got 4 of his CDs, and it's just acoustic guitar, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love acoustic guitar. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And then when you can go to it's interesting because like his Facebook page, like there are some testimonials on there. Like one woman was talking about she had seen him, like he was at a festival and heard him playing, and she was starting to get a migraine. And then closer she got, like, and she started listening to him playing, like her migraine went away. And so she had bought his CDs. And so now when she feels like a migraine's coming on, she'll play his CDs to help prevent that migraine. And so, no, I'm not saying if you get his music, it will heal your cancer or you or anything like that. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it's the power of music. Like, it can help and heal you. And I firmly believe that. And, as I've always said too, is, even before when I said like cooking, your feelings go into that. So I do firmly believe that some of these artists, they put their feelings into their music. That's their passion. And that was their goal. Like that was his goal, was to heal his wife through music. And so he was able to do that. And again, like George Winston, watching him play, like he loved playing the piano, and he would play for like, even after the concert was over, like he would play for hours. And I know this because a friend of mine who runs the theater, when they had him there, like part of the contract, they wanted, him to be able to like stay like for about an hour or so after the show was done, after the audience was done, for him just to sit there and play the piano. And so it was, that's what he loved doing. And even when he was sitting there chatting with us, like he's like, oh, I messed up on this part, I did this instead of this, when he was chatting with us or and some of his other friends that had stayed and came to the show. And he was so particular, but he was just so involved in it. And and he was such a generous guy too, because all of his proceeds, like from the show, would go to food banks. And I mean, huge philanthropist. Like it was really amazing. But anyways, so yeah, definitely leave in the comments what kind of music do you like what heals you, what makes you feel better, what gets your mind off of things. And definitely, like I said, a lot of cancer institutes now are starting to bring in like music therapy, or have, they're even bringing in, I think, active music therapy, but we'll talk about that next week. We're not, but as far as receptive music therapy, they're starting to do, bring those in and do that. So you can definitely, get that from, a cancer institute. But at the same time, like, you stream on YouTube, you can stream on, the only thing with YouTube are the commercials, I know. You can stream on YouTube, you can stream Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, like, you can do so much. You can play CDs. Yes, they still have CDs. Like vinyl is like back now, like huge, or coming back. It's been coming back for years, and I think it's just more now, better now, or more popular now than it was, a while because it started coming back when I was a music manager. Vinyl started slowly making its way back into the industry, and so a lot of artists now have put both CD and vinyl. But yeah, so yes, so yeah, you can buy CDs. There's also, there's music stores that, both buy and sell, music, CDs, stuff like that, used. So you can go in and buy them for hardly nothing. So the areas around there. Yeah. So anyways, on that note, take care. Wait, come here. Bentley says to take care. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your tea. Listen to some music. Let me know who are some of your favorite artists, bands, what kind of music you like to listen to. If you have any stories of any music that's helped you out, definitely throw it in the comments. Bentley, tell them, say thank you for listening to us. Thank you for watching. And say until next week, take care, and we'll see you under the willow tree.